Today I'm going to show you how to make my high protein pumpkin spice seitan. Even if you're not someone who normally bakes, you should still check this out because it takes less than 30 minutes and is great for meal prep. If you've done any plant-based cooking or have just eaten vegan meat replacements, you've likely already heard of Vital Wheat gluten. While it's typically used for savory seitan, I hope I can convince you that it's also an amazing ingredient to add to desserts and baked goods. I love it because it's very cheap on a grams of protein per dollar basis, especially compared to specialty protein powders. The first step for turning our Vital Wheat gluten from meaty to dessert is to pick the right ingredients to pair it with. Pumpkin puree, brown sugar, and maple syrup not only add a nice sweet flavor to this recipe, but they keep the dough from getting rubbery by disrupting the formation of a dense gluten structure. This results in a softer, more tender final product that is closer to your typical pumpkin bread. We're adding vanilla extract for flavor and 1/4 cup of water so that we have enough liquids for our dry ingredients. I like to use a whisk for this step to ensure that everything is well mixed and to break up any brown sugar clumps. If you have a kitchen scale, I'm begging you, please weigh your Vital Wheat gluten. It's a very dense powder and it's easy to add more than you think you're adding if you're only using measuring cups. Having the right amount of wet ingredients to dry ingredients is important for the texture of the dough. Baking powder and baking soda are a big part of why this recipe works. They are chemical leavening agents that help baked goods rise by producing CO2, carbon dioxide gas. If you don't use these, you'll end up with a much more dense, chewy texture that I doubt you'll like. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more. Really good mixing of the wet and dry ingredients separately is pretty important for this recipe to ensure that we don't have to mix the final product much. Once you've added the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients, mix as minimally as possible, just enough to ensure that we have a well-combined dough. Because we're not over-mixing or kneading, it keeps us from entering Satan's realm, if you know what I mean. Alright, so your dough should look like this. If it's a little too wet, add a bit of Vital Wheat gluten. If it's a little too dry, add a tiny bit of water. So this step of powdered sugar is optional, but I already included it in the calories, so you should probably do it. During my experimenting with this recipe, I found that if I dusted it with powdered sugar before baking, it held in some of the moisture and kept it a little bit softer. Don't drench it like I did. I only ended up using 1/4 cup of powdered sugar for all of them, which I know is shocking because I really coated that first one. At this point, make sure your oven has preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 177 Celsius, because the end is nigh. I like to use a parchment paper lined baking sheet for ease of cleanup, and you'll want to keep these bad boys spaced a little bit, because they will expand with baking as Vital Wheat gluten is wont to do. Now we bake at 350 Fahrenheit or 177 Celsius for 17 to 19 minutes. I usually pull mine out of the oven around the 17.5 minute mark, but I haven't met your oven, so you do what you think is best. I'm going to tell you to let them cool off before you enjoy them, but just know that I will not be taking my own advice. If you liked this video and would like to see more easy, high protein recipes where we avoid using protein powder by using other, potentially controversial ingredients, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you have any recipe requests, send them my way.